Welcome back to more of my shitty furniture. This over here, that's a back seat from a minivan. That's fine. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that. Not really sure what we're doing here today, but we're serving up some real bad lighting. I tried to wiggle my way around, but this is the best I can do right now. Because we need to stay plugged in. This is where the outlet is. Today, we're part of the DOJ, so very official. I've also got no lenses in these glasses, so we've got the magnifying glass, just in case. At this point, I am not sure which of my therapists or friends or family members I've talked to about this, or which insurance agent I've talked to about this. There's been a couple of those as well. I wanted to do some filming and uploading for the past several days, and I have done some filming, and none of it's been good, because I'm a mess per usual, and my life continues to fall apart. So, let's see, where to start. I don't know if any of y'all remember, but I don't know, maybe like a month ago, I went out of town to the neighboring county because I was like, I'm gonna film and be creative, and my mom just was like, I need to see you, I need to see you, I need to see you. And then I was freaked out because I thought that something was wrong, and then there was nothing wrong, and I talked to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, your mom was doing a come here, come here, come here, which is exactly what she was doing. So this past Wednesday, my mom texted me saying, it was like 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon. I get off work at 5. And she said, do you want to go have dinner at this certain place with me? And I said, well, no, yeah, I can't, because I gotta run some errands after work tonight. But I am totally down to, have family dinner with, maybe we could invite so-and-so and so-and-so another night this week. And she didn't reply to me. So the next day, around 2:30 or 3, she said, do you want to go have dinner at some specific place when you get off work? And I said, well, no, actually, because tonight I gotta go to Whole Foods after work. And she said, which Whole Foods are you going to? And I said, the one by my office. And she said, great, I'll meet you there for dinner. So she invited herself to my grocery shopping. And there's a part of Whole Foods where, they've got a bar in the middle of the store. You can go get a drink, pay for your drink, then walk around the store. You go to the other side of the store where they've got their, buffet bar. You fill up your box, you pay for it, and then you go upstairs and sit down in the cafe. You can have your beer, and you can have your food. Well, my mom didn't get any food because it wasn't about dinner for her. That's why she crashed my grocery shopping experience. She didn't get any food. She got one glass of wine, and she also drank some of my beer. So she just watched me eat, asked me a million questions about my life, and, when we were done eating, I was like, listen, I gotta go buy the shit that I came here to buy, and she said, okay, that's fine, because I wanna go buy this funny 6-pack of beer, to give to your stepdad for Christmas. It's these. Best made pickle beer. Brewed and canned by Martin House Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Not sponsored by this brewing company, but I personally am sponsored by the state of Texas because I was born here. So I find myself telling my mom things that are going on in my life right now and things that are not really great. And my mom's kind of response to everything is, well, it's fine. And I'm like, well, I'm very emotionally alone in a day-to-day basis, and I feel like I don't have a person. And she's like, well, you have a great backyard. It's a great setup. And I was just like, I feel like I don't, have a person, don't people, have a person? So, did I really lose a lighter in here? No, I didn't. Okay, so she's like, it's me, I'm your person, I'm your person. And I'm like, no, you're not my person, you've never been my person, and you're never going to be my go-to person, because that's never been our rapport. If you don't know why. You're lying to yourself. And she was like, well, you told me. And I was like, because I'm seeing 2 different therapists right now, Mom. And they both told me I need to set boundaries with you. And she was like, you told me that I could come to therapy with you. And I was like, I absolutely the fuck did not. I never told you to come to therapy. I told you you could not ever come to therapy with me and that you needed to go to your own therapy. And she said, well, you said you would come to a therapy with me. And I said, no, I didn't. I told you I could fucking find some people and refer them to you that take your insurance. Never followed up on that. And this is getting really frustrating because she's following me through the grocery store aisles. And at this point I'm in the freezer aisle and she suddenly flips on me and goes, you don't know how I feel. No, I don't, because you haven't tried to tell me. You've just, asked me a whole bunch of questions, and I've told you my answers, and you've dismissed all of them, and, haven't tried to tell me what's going on with you at all. You've just demanded to be present in my day, and, invasive, and continue to insist that, you're my mom and you're there for me. 'Cause, you know, she was there in the room all the times that, her husband was abusive to me. And no, this isn't about him, you know? That's fine. We can leave that in the past. You know, it's been a long time. So, you know, don't smoke, it's bad for you. So that was all Wednesday night where my mom was following me around the grocery store, and I was putting me in an emotional distress in the freezer aisle. So the next morning I was driving on my way to work, and I was still kind of weirded out about the night before with my mom, and I was trying to like film a little bit while I was like stuck on the ramp going a quarter of a mile an hour, and you know, just nothing that I filmed was really good. I was just too frustrated, and so I gave up, and I was like, whatever, I'll just get to work, and I'll be fine, I'll process my emotions, and I'll, you know, think about it later. I was like 2 blocks from work, sitting at a light, and I don't remember what video it was, but I was listening to a YouTube video. It was probably about the Gabby Hanna drama, because listen, I'm here for that tea. I don't fucking like that girl. This isn't beauty drama, this is bad personality drama, and I have not liked that girl since Vine, and I loved Vine. So, just sitting at the light, unprotected left, but the light is green, so if there's a stop in the flow of oncoming traffic, you can go, right? We understand how traffic lights work. So I'm stopped, and I'm just sitting there watching oncoming traffic, and then I get smacked from behind by this fucking Mercedes, and I haven't been in a traffic accident since like 2005. That was entirely my fault. I had had my driver's license for like, I don't know, all of 10 fucking minutes before I like, you know, was trying to drive my friend home after school in this pouring summer rain. When it's been dry for so many months and a bunch of bullshit has just built up on the street and there's been no rain to wash it away, and then suddenly it pours, well, that bullshit's still there. Oil, it's slippery, it's slick, it's gross. And 17-year-old me, yes, honey, we're gonna, be driving in this pouring rain, not able to see very far in front of us, and the moment we see those brake lights up ahead, we hit our fucking brakes, and then we hydroplane, and we crash into the back of this SUV, and that was my fault, you know? They had a really fancy, brand new LL Bean edition Explorer, or some shit. Nope. No. Expedition. It was an Expedition. Anyway, I think they'd only bought that car like 2 or 3 days before I hit them, poor things. But, I gently, lightly scuffed their bumper, and then I put their trailer hitch into my radiator and crumpled my front end of my 95 BMW 325i. It had 120,000 miles on it when I got it, and it was 10 years old when I got it. So that's not me being like, I had a BMW. Anybody can afford an old, broken down piece of shit BMW. You can afford to buy it, but it's everything on it is broken, and you can't afford to repair all of it. So that sucks. Anyway, so since then I haven't been involved in a traffic accident, and I didn't know what to do, and it was so jarring, because I do that drive every day to work, and I've been doing it for years, and I'm a very safe driver. I'm very careful. Because I'm fucking scared. You know, if anything that I learned from that wreck that I got in 2005 was like, you need to be fucking careful. Slow your shit down. I've never gotten a speeding ticket. Like, I don't... And so just to get fucking plowed into by this person scared the shit out of me. I couldn't even find the fucking hazard light button on my car. I didn't know if I was supposed to pull over, but I also thought if I pull over, this person might drive away. I don't know. So I put my shit in park, turned off the stereo, located the hazard light, got out of my car dazed, and there's this person walking up to me, kind of reaching out to me as if they want to hug me, and I turned from that. You just hit me with your car, I'm not going to hug you. And I walked to look at both of our cars. The other car was fine. They kind of caved in their license plate on my bumper, and you know what? Shout out to my little Jetta. You're a badass bitch, my little Fraulein. But yeah, she like really kind of fucked up my bumper. Like it's cracked, but not too badly. But it's like I need a new one. She fucked it up enough that I just need a new one. You know, like it did its job, right? And now that's over with. It served its purpose. Gotta get a new one. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. I don't know if you've ever tried to talk to somebody who, like, doesn't speak English, but they have this look on their face where they're like, I don't speak English. This driver had, I don't speak English face. And they were trying to, like, wipe the paint from their car that was all over my bumper off with their hand. I don't even know if I've already uploaded a video talking about this. I don't know. I'm out of my fucking mind. Anyway, so, and you know, whatever. It was not white. The outline of their license plate is in my bumper. So I didn't speak to them. All I said was, show me your insurance so I can take a picture of it. And they looked at me with their I don't speak English face. And I said, you can just show me your insurance and I'll take a picture of it. I don't speak English face. I'll grab my phone, get your insurance, I will take a picture of it. So they go back to their car, they bring out their insurance card, I go back to my car, I get my phone, I'm shaking. So I'm surprised I got like a good photo of their insurance. I took a photo of the insurance card, I didn't even read it. And then I took a picture of their license plate. And not even because I was like, I need to take a picture of this car. I kind of saw like, I want to take a picture of how badly they fucked up their license plate when they hit me. I'm glad I took a picture of their license plate, and that was important. I didn't ask for their driver's license, and I didn't call the cops, because on top of, like, don't smoke, it's bad for you, don't call the cops, it's bad for you. I mean, yeah, they solve murders. That's important. We love them for that. But, like, if someone just, like, hit your car in a left turn lane and, like, you're both physically okay and, like, your cars are both drivable. Like, I just feel like, don't call the cops if they're not needed. Like, you never know somebody else's legal status, you know? You don't. Because, like, even if, like, what if I had just had, like, a fucking eighth of nug in my glove box? You know? Then I would have been fucked. You don't know anybody's fucking legal status. I'm not gonna assume her legal status. I know she was not born in America. I'm not gonna assume her immigration status. But, it's a bumper. It is not worth getting... I don't even want anybody to get a traffic ticket over it, dude. Like, you already hit somebody. You don't want to have to get a fucking speeding ticket on top of it by a cop who just, like, assumes you were going however much over the speed limit, even though they didn't clock you and they weren't there and you had to call them. Because the time in 2005 when I rear-ended that fucking LL Bean expedition, they called the cops. It was raining and I was barefoot in the middle of the street in the rain, and I was ankle deep because it was some fucking rain, dude. And they called the cops, and the cops showed up, and on top of me fucking bashing up and totaling my car, the cops gave me a speeding ticket, which was an assumed speeding ticket, which meant they assumed that I had to have been going 10 miles over the speed limit, to have caused the accident that I caused. Which wasn't true, because, I don't speed. Especially not in the rain. If you speed in the rain, what's wrong with you? You goofy. So, it wasn't even a thought to me to call 911. How many times in my life have I called 911? Personally, me? I called 911 one time. And it was because some dude in my apartment complex a few floors down had been losing it and just, like, screaming off the balcony into the void for hours. And I don't know what happened, but suddenly there just started to be a bunch of pounding that was shaking the entire 3-4 floor building. And it had gone on for long enough that I started to get scared because I thought, are these fucking gunshots? So I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, this is what's going on. Like, what am I supposed to do? Do I call 911? And my dad said, yeah, you should probably call 911. So I called 911, and I was like, I know this sounds silly, but this is what's going on, and I'm concerned. And they said, everyone else in your building has already called 911. We've got units on the way. So, I guess that was valid. Apparently what happened was, the guys who lived in that apartment, had, a get-together where they were barbecuing in the courtyard, and they had a friend over, and this friend apparently had a history of doing this shit where, he's got schizophrenia. He's had to go to the mental hospital several times before for doing this shit, but, like, they were hanging out, like, barbecuing, drinking beer, smoking weed. Schizophrenic dude, smokes weed, has a bad reaction, acts out a lot, and loses it for several hours. And he's a big dude, he's like 6'7" or something, so they get to the point where, like, the dude's freaking out. They've got, like, all of the friends, like 5 people holding him down trying to restrain him. And he's just losing it, and, like, the sounds we were hearing was him fucking hitting the walls hard enough to just shake the whole building. Again, 3 stories. So, the cops showed up, and they tased the guy, and he didn't go down. And they tased him again, and he didn't go down. So this went on for a while until they were finally able to get him to go down and subdue him and strap him down. And EMS came in with a stretcher, tied him to it, and I guess he went off to the mental hospital. I ended up talking to the dude who lived in that unit, and he was like, I'm really sorry for freaking everybody out who lives here. And he explained to me the entire story about, that particular friend and, like, his mental health condition and how, like, he wasn't gonna hurt anybody, but, he was, definitely having some sort of psychiatric break. So, that was the only time I've called 911. There was a time in 2004 that I was riding home with my boyfriend from North Lamar and Runberg, and if you know about Runberg, the Berg. Oh, good. Yes, screensaver. We love you. You love to come on when we're talking. That means I've been talking too much for too long. Anyway, so other times that 911 has been called when I was present, 2004, driving home from Lamar and Runberg from a friend's house. You know, it's late at night. And my dad wanted me to be home before midnight or whatever, so, like, my boyfriend's driving me home. And I've been drinking. He hasn't, because he's got to be driving me. And we're going southbound, and I see in the fucking chicken lane a body. Like, a person. Just laying in the middle of the chicken lane. And I'm like, baby, you gotta turn around and pull over. There's a person in that lane. There's a person in the street. And he's like, no, it was just like a pile of clothes or some trash. And I was like, no, it was not. You have to pull over. You have to turn around. And he still didn't believe me, but he did. He pulled over, he turned around, and we pulled up in the chicken lane in front of this body. This man. And I get out, and because I was drinking and riding, a passenger, I finished my beer and tossed the can underneath the car. I hopped out and I ran up on this man, and he's laying in the middle of the street, the pool of blood, like a halo Jesus style around his head. Like, he's bleeding from his head. His eyes are closed. He's unresponsive. And I told my boyfriend, call 911. And then they made us stick around until like 4 a.m. so that we could give them our statements. And I guess what had happened was that there was like a party nearby in a neighborhood, and apparently there was some stabbing going on. And so this one dude just took off on foot to get out of there because there was a stabbing at a party. So he's running on foot across the street. These friends who've got their stabbed friend and they're driving him to the emergency room are driving down the street, and they hit the guy who ran away from the party while they're on their way to fucking take their stabbed friend to the emergency room. Guy in the middle of the road lived, but he is severely brain damaged and will live that way for the rest of his life. So that was another 911 call. Another time was, let's see. I'm not sure what state I was in. Maybe Georgia. I was riding with my boyfriend on our way back from the Carolinas to Texas, and we're taking a ramp off this one highway onto another one because I had to pee, right? I had to pee. We had to get off the highway. It's a kind of a sharp ramp, and this dude driving a cement truck, I guess, misjudged his speed and the ramp, and so we're driving in one direction, and we see this fucking cement truck come off the ramp and just roll, like, on its side. But a cement truck can fall over on its side, but that cement mixer is just gonna continue to go where it's going. So it just spills its cement all over the place. My boyfriend and I see this, you know, as we're going the opposite direction, and he immediately pulls over and is like, fuck, did you see that? And I was like, no, I didn't see that, because I was staring at my phone like a fucking millennial. Duh. And so he's just pulled over, and we look and we see what's going on, and my boyfriend's like, fuck, what do we do? What do I do? What do I do? And I said, we call 911. So, interestingly enough, that cement truck driver, they were able to just, like, call his wife, who, like, quickly came over to come get him, because he lived nearby in the area. So I thought it was interesting that, like, he misjudged a turn he should have been familiar with if he lived in the area. I don't know. Never know how anybody's day's going. Never know anybody's legal status. You don't know their situation. So when do you call the fucking cops? If they rear-end you and both your cars are drivable and neither of you are hurt? I don't think that's when you call the cops. But from an insurance standpoint, I learned now that that is where I fucked up. So my insurance company told me I needed to get online and file a police report. Well, to file a police report online, there's something called a blue form. That's the only thing I could really find. And you need a lot of information about the other driver. And I don't have that. And then when I called their insurance, the insurance was under a man's name and a business name. And that was confusing to me because the person who hit me, who presented this insurance card to me as if it was their own, outwardly looked female. Again, what do you assume? What do you do? I don't know. So, and I don't even know if this person could speak English at all, or maybe they were just as shocked as I was, and that's why they just looked at me confused and didn't say anything. So, not sponsored. My insurance company told me to fill out the police report, which I can't do. It's like a traffic report, a traffic accident report, which I couldn't fill out with more information from the driver, or the owner of the vehicle, or whoever the fucking insured person is. Well, okay, so I Googled the business that the insurance and the car was tied to. It's a residential address. Google Street View. The car that hit me is in the driveway. So that's something. I don't know. I in my head I was like, okay, well here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to call the business number, right, for this insured vehicle. And I'm gonna just be like, hey, listen, I didn't call the cops as a courtesy to you because I didn't want you to have to get any kind of tickets or legal trouble on top of, like, this little accident, which is not true. That's not why I didn't call the cops. One, it's because I was fucking just so stunned and scared, and two, I don't call the cops. I don't call the fucking cops. Unless somebody's fucking hurt or dying. Anyway, so I figured, like, okay, I'll call them and just be like, look, I didn't call the cops. That's a favor I did for you. Shout out to me. It's a lie. But can you please give me this information so I can fill out this traffic accident report to give to the insurance? So that was my plan. That was what I was going to do yesterday. Well, all these things are great in theory until the reality hits that I have a real bad anxiety disorder and I'm afraid to do anything. So don't smoke, it's bad for you. I really thought, okay, Saturday, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna take an anxiety pill, I'm gonna do that thing people do where they, like, fucking take a shower and brush their teeth, and then I'm gonna call this injured person and talk to them. Well, I didn't do that. I woke up in the middle of the night, because around 2:45, 3 a.m. my sister started texting me, saying, poo at 2:45 a.m. Saturday morning. I just called 911. My sister called 911. She knows what she's doing. She said, I just called 911. My boyfriend is passed out and unresponsive, vomiting. They took him away in an ambulance. I think it's alcohol poisoning, and I think he'll be fine. But he also hit his head, which I don't know if it's like a concussion. I just went to take him his phone, but they wouldn't let me see him or let me in. It was so scary. She said an EMS came and took him to a facility for intoxicated people who need medical assistance, but it's not a hospital and it's not jail. He was passed out while gagging and unresponsive. I haven't fully gathered, like, what happened from anyone yet, because, I mean, like, I stopped talking to my sister several weeks ago, and have only, like, followed up to say really mean things to her in a text message, like, good morning, you selfish bitch, because I'm mad at her, but, so, from what I've gathered, it seems to be that, my sister's boyfriend, I guess, was in town, or he had friends in town, and they all went out drinking. And after drinking, cheers, my sister's boyfriend took, like, an Uber to my sister's house, I guess, to crash there. And I guess he walked in the house, fucking smashed his head, and fell down, and started choking on his own vomit. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know who all was there. But from what it sounds like is that my cousin Slim somehow walked up in the house. My cousin Slim doesn't live in this house. Her brother lives in this house, so she's there a lot. But she just walked up in this house in the middle of the night, found my sister's boyfriend choking on his own vomit, unresponsive, rolled him over, and had to bust up in my sister's room, wake her up, and be like, dude, your fucking boyfriend, we gotta call 911, dude. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I freaked out, because I don't, my sister has hurt me in certain ways, but, like, I love her. I've prioritized her my entire life, and that's kind of why I'm mad at her right now, is because she won't prioritize me. She won't. She never will. But I also, like, I don't want anybody to fucking die, and I don't want anybody to die in my sister's house, and I don't want my sister's boyfriend to die, and I don't want my sister's boyfriend to die in her fucking living room from choking on his own vomit, dude. So, yeah, I was up in the middle of the night, and I freaked out, so you know what I do? I don't have any coping skills. I just drank some more until I fell back asleep around 5 or 6 a.m. And then I woke up around noon, and I felt like shit. And I stayed feeling like shit all day, and I did nothing. At one point, though, I did come upstairs with my laptop. This beautiful scenery we are now, I was right here. And I decided to watch Garrett Watt's YouTube videos for the first time. And, you know, I hadn't done that before, and I really like him. Like, I don't laugh out loud at TV or movies. I just don't. So it's very rare when I do. And so, yeah, like, I was watching fucking Garrett Watts, and I was laughing out loud up here, and I was like, oh my god, this is kooky. My boyfriend's gonna come up here in a minute and be like, what the fuck are you laughing at, you nut? But, anyway, so I didn't fucking call this person. Still haven't called him. I did, while I was sleeping yesterday morning, miss 2 calls from their insurance company. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Because I don't trust insurance companies, and they're probably going to want to do whatever they can to discredit me. I don't know. Maybe they'll dig up some fucking old photos of me and be like, oh shit, dude.
Your hair isn't naturally blonde. You're a liar. These people didn't hit you. I don't know how this works. This has never happened to me before. So, I did, though, consult with my lawyer. I used to be in a band. This really cool drummer, this really cool bassist. The bassist died. I don't know if I've talked about that before, maybe I'll talk about it later, but it was really a traumatic experience for me and my drummer, because we tried really hard to save our bassist when she got addicted to heroin, and she fucking died anyway of an overdose on Easter Sunday of 2004, and she was 17 years old. My drummer, though, she went on to major in studio art at University of Texas, Austin. And then years later, moved back to University of Texas at Austin and went to law school. So she's a lawyer now. So I got in this accident, and I thought, you know what I really need right now? A drummer? No. An artist? Not quite. A lawyer? Yes, honey, that's who I need. I'm gonna call you. So I spent 2 hours on the phone with her today, and I feel really bad for, I don't know, taking up her time with my problems, because she's got her own. And so there's 3 ways I really deal with needing to talk about things. I say a bunch of dumb shit on YouTube. I say a bunch of dumb shit on Twitter. And then I paid 2 different mental health professionals a $30 copay for 40-minute sessions. And then I also have to miss time off work, leaving to go to these appointments. So I'm also losing money. It's not just the copays. On top of the money that I pay weekly for having insurance to begin with. Why did I start this video? Oh, right, yeah, because I feel like I just need to talk. So that's why I do this. So, wow, oh my god, nobody's gonna watch this, that's okay. So let's see, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna promote Best Made Pickle Beer. It sucks. It's not good. But you know what, you should drink it so that you can say you did. Don't smoke, it's bad for you. Thank you for listening. I think that forgiveness is really important. So I want you to forgive yourself for the time that you wasted watching this video. I just ruined this room.